Hello YouTube, and welcome to my review of the SH Figuarts Trunks from the series Dragon Ball Z. Now this is the 6th release in the Dragon Ball Z lineup, the SH Figuarts, and it is a pretty good one, so let's go ahead and get into this review. Forehead articulation. Its head can go about this far. It can do a 360, but because of the way his collar is designed, most of the time if you do it, it'll pop off. But I mean, you can really squeeze his head to get it to go 360. His head will go that far down and that far up, and of course you can lean side to side. For torso articulation, he has a joint here and a joint up there, which allow him to go 360 degrees at the lower one, a little bit at the upper one. He does lean side to side a good bit, and he goes that far down and that far back. For arm articulation, his arm can rotate 360 degrees. It has that little ball in there, so it rotates a little bit. The arm goes this high whenever it's flat with his shoulder, but if you pull it down a little bit, you can get it to go that high. It swivels at the shoulder. The elbows are double jointed, so you get a nice bend. And go ahead and zoom in on the Capsule Corp logo. Really nicely done. As usual, the hands can rotate 360 degrees and they swivel. Now, while all that's good, there is a serious flaw that I find with these arms. Because this jacket is so hard, you cannot get his hands to go any closer together than this. Now of course you could bend his elbows and turn the arms again like that, but even if you do that, his hands cannot go together, which means most of the sword slashing will be done with a single hand, not both. So you can't get him to do that downward slash that he did on Frieza. So major points off this guy in my book, because he can't do that. For leg articulation, he has the Type 1 style Figuarts hips, so they can be brought down for wider kicks. He gets pretty decent split. The thighs can swivel. Leg goes about that far forward, about that far back. The knees are double jointed, so there's no problems there. The feet can rotate 360 degrees. They go down a good bit, up a little bit, go side to side quite nicely. And as usual, the toe is on hinge. Now, I'm not a big fan of these feet, to be perfectly honest. I understand why they did it, because these are boots. The toes go up a little bit. I understand they're boots, and boots do that, but it makes them kind of wobble. So, I would have preferred flat feet. For accessories, he comes with two different sets of heads. Comes with the normal head, and I have the serious face on him right now. He comes with the smiling face, the grinding teeth face, and the yelling face. He also comes with his Super Saiyan head, and I have the serious face on that one. Comes with the same facial expressions as a Super Saiyan. So you get the smiling face, you get the teeth grinding face, and you get the yelling face. For hands, you get quite a bit. You get a pair of fists, a pair of sword holding hands, a pair of open palm hands, a pair of chop hands, a pair of key blast hands, a pair of burning attack hands. You get a single hand used to hold his sword while it's on his back in the sheath, and you get his thumbs up hand for when he was going back to the future in his time machine. And you get two different types of swords. You get the one that has the sheath that just pegs right into his back, and this part pegs right into the hole right there. And to demonstrate, I'll just grab Trunks right here. He has no hands or head. And just pop it around. Pegs right into his back pretty securely. Bring this strap around and just plug it in. If I can get my fingers around it. There we go. And just kind of adjust it how you want it. And the peg right here is very secure. This, however, is if you move it around too much, it will come out. But I mean, if you just pose him and stick it in place, it should be good to go. I don't feel that it's going to fall out anytime soon. But the sword on his back right now is just a prop. There's no actual blade. For the actual blade, they gave you this other sword. It's nicely painted, very nicely detailed. And here's a quick little comparison shot of Trunks with the other Super Saiyans that have been released so far, other than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And some people have said that Trunks needs to be taller, because in the show he was taller than Vegeta, and which that is true, but I'm fine with his height. I mean, he is supposed to be a young teen, so you know, young teens aren't fully grown yet. But he definitely fits in rather well. Final thoughts. Bandai did a pretty good job on this Figuarts version of Trunks. He has a really good paint applications, especially the Capsule Corp logo on his left arm. It's really clean. I like that. The shading is subtle, but it's still noticeable. So they're going away from the super noticeable shading of Vegeta's hair to a much more subtle look of Trunks. So I really appreciate that. Really, the only con for this figure is the fact that his arms can't go closer together. And the problem is that is a big knock against this figure, considering the poses he did in the show. I mean, for an example, they give you the burning attack hands, but you can't really pull off the burning attack, because whenever he does that, his hands are together. When he fires it, his hands are close together when he starts it, and he crosses his arms in the middle of, you know, flailing his arms about. So you can't really pull that off, even though they include the hands for it. So it just kind of irks me that, you know, if they had just made his jacket a little bit more rubbery, then this figure would just be absolutely amazing. But that aside, do I recommend it? Definitely for Trunks fans or completionists of the Dragon Ball Z Figuarts line. This is around $48 on Amazon, so it's not that expensive. Considering you get a ton of accessories, I think it's worth it. But just don't buy this figure expecting to get a lot of slashing poses or the burning attack pose. You can buy a big poof ball like I did to have him simulate holding up Frieza's big death ball, but just keep an open mind about this figure. He's not going to do everything you want him to do. So with that, I'll see you with the next review.